This presentation is about my health and wellness journey. More importantly, it's about my journey and battle against cancer, and my cancer is in remission. And I'm doing this because, in response to the Facebook post that I did concerning my mom would have told me. Okay, my mom would have told me about things. So I'm doing this, and also because of that, I got a response from people calling me, and as a result, they wanted more information, and that is exactly why I am doing this video. So, without further ado, let's kind of go ahead and get started. So, uh, this is about my health and wellness journey, about my battle against cancer. So, why am I doing this story, and why now? I'm doing it for three reasons. One, I want to be able to share my story to help others. Primarily, I need to put my sons on notice of about health issues that are in the future for them unless they make changes. And they can never say that they didn't know it. But sometimes, even like when I had a conversation with my brother today, when I did the post, he tells me that he did tell me about it, about the fact about my dad had prostate cancer and he had prostate cancer, but I had selective hearing. And I'm actually thinking that is so true. It's because at the time, it was like 2002, and I was not in a very stable job situation, and I didn't have medical insurance. So as a result, when he told me to go get myself checked out for prostate cancer and get a PSA test, I didn't know what a PSA test was. And I also didn't have health insurance to go get it. So it went in one ear and went out the other ear, mainly because there was nothing that I could do. Okay. So the second reason I'm doing this because of my son, Jordan the third. And he was the one that got me to write my books. The very first book, he says, "Dad, if you don't tell your story, who will?" And it's so true. And it's the same thing. If I don't tell my sons about this, who will? Okay. So the other part is that what I want to do is that I want to share my wellness strategy for living longer and what has worked for me. And some of the results I've gotten are remarkable, and some people need to hear this. So if you're in my age group, or if you suffer from prostate cancer and or high blood pressure or high cholesterol, or you're almost in that point where you're about ready to become a type 2 diabetic, or if any one of those areas or striking a chord, or if anybody in your family has had that striking a chord, then you need to watch this video through the end. Guaranteed, you need to watch. It's time to wake the fuck up. And I can't say it any other way than that, because sometimes you need to hear that. Wake the heck up? No, it don't work. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So those are the reasons I'm being real today. So my story is actually told through my books, and I actually have written, I guess now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess I've written 11 books and I forgot about it. So one of them is missing here. But anyway, the first book I wrote was because my son. It was about my time at the United States Naval Academy all the way up until I got out. Okay. So it was about that experience and everything else, about in the Marines and everything else. The next book I wrote was about facing death together. Was when my former wife was up there battling against cancer. We did that for 2 years. Then I wrote a cookbook to kind of capture all the different meals and stuff that we cooked. But also that book was tailored to a cookbook that was also helping to fight against cancer. Then I wrote my books about teaching math, about 11 effective strategies for teaching math. That book's been out, and that's actually my bestseller. Checklist for Dating is the checklist that I developed with myself and my current wife that's making us so happy. I'm so lucky, so blessed on that. Freedom Code Writers was when I was actually teaching underprivileged kids on how to write code and the benefits of becoming software engineers, working with Amazon. Amazon named me a Teacher of the Year. In 2023, I'm now currently a teacher and ambassador with Amazon. And also my fiction book series that just finished here in 2024 is 3 Books Against the Odds. So if you pick up those books are on Amazon, Audible, iTunes. You listen to those books, you'll know more about me. Okay. So those who can. And I am a doctor of education, not a medical doctor. Doctor of education. So I have a bachelor's in math, a doctor's in education, and 2 other masters in education. So let's begin with famous quotes. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The farther back you can look, the farther forward you are likely to see. History is a vast early warning system. Sons, and listen, early warning system. That's what I'm talking about. So if we do not learn from history, then we're bound to repeat it and go through the same crap again. Disregard the lessons of the past is to court the tragedies of the future. How about this one? My original. Understanding the past is the first step towards avoiding its darkest echoes. Ignorance of history is a form of blindness that ensures we walk straight into old traps. Our failure to learn from yesterday turns today's choices. You don't just inherit the world from your ancestors, you inherit their mistakes too, unless you learn from them. And that one right there is the reason I'm making this video. So you need to understand. Now I'm putting everything out to let you know that you need to understand about your family history. If you don't want to repeat it, you need to understand and listen to me right now. Okay, so my mom died of an aneurysm. She died early. She was 45. The only 2 things I do remember: she did smoke, and she did smoke, and she did drink alcohol. I never saw my mom drunk in my lifetime, but I do know that she has consumed alcohol and stuff. Same thing as my dad. My dad, I know that he drank alcohol. He drank a lot more regular than everything else. His highball of a rum and coke and stuff was there. That was there. My dad died of a stroke at 73, but he also had prostate cancer that I didn't fully understand until I had mine. Until I was ready and ripe to understand that I can even take action on. My brother H had diagnosed. He was on active duty when he found out about my dad having this prostate cancer. And as a result, he was in the Air Force, and they wound up taking proactive action. As a result, they caught his prostate cancer early, and he was able to do it. Right now, my brother is cancer-free for 21 years. But guess what we both also have right now? We both are taking medication for high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So guess what? It's part of the family history. So sons, wake up. Here we go. So I want to say it the other way, like a Marine DI, because that's what they do. I was always, as a teacher, jealous of the fact that football coaches can tell a student what WTF, and I couldn't do it in my classroom. So sometimes it may slip out here because it may just be needed at that point in order to get your attention. So my work history, is it important? Yes, because my work was my life. First 10 years on active duty in the Marine Corps, finished out as a captain, transferred over to the Marine Corps Reserve, did that including the Gulf War, the first Gulf War, Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Hoorah! 1986 to 2006, I kind of wandered around up in the desert with different jobs around from when I was in reserves and on active duty all the way up. Then I woke up, straightened up, fly right, became a high school math and computer science teacher in 2004. All of those things. The Marine Corps, you think that was a stressful job? How about living on a commission basis in financial services and everything else? You being the only person that's bringing in income. That was stress and everything else. Going to the Gulf War, dealing with trying to rapid deployment and mobilization of Marines 18,000 miles away. You think that? How about being a high school, public school math teacher where all these students and everything else could not pass the high school exit exam? So that background provided me the reason stress. And as I go through this presentation, you're gonna understand it a lot better. So here's my health history: essential hypertension. But I want you to take a look at the ages, and I want you to look at the fact of the times. 2007, hypertension, cancer of the prostate. Goes back. This says 2009. That's what they backdated in my medical records. I actually was not diagnosed except for a Gleason score of 6. 3.3 plus 3 equals 6. Stage 1 cancer until February of actually 23. Pre-diabetic in 2015, vitamin D deficiency in 2016, high blood pressure, squamous cancer, radiation therapy, BPH, enlarged prostate and urinary problems, and also bladder stones in 2024. So my medical procedures that I've gone through in my lifetime, I've had 6 prostate biopsies. I've had prostate radiation. I had a TURP, a resection of my prostate. I've had a bladder stone removal, and I've had 3 colonoscopies, and I got another one coming up. My prescription medications, I take losartan for blood pressure. I take cholesterol medicine. I was taking Flomex because of the urinary issues concerning, but after the TERP, I no longer have to do that. And mainly because of my lifestyle changes, I am off of that medication. Wahoo! So here's the record of my PSA. And I want you to take note. In 2002 is when my brother told me about my dad having prostate cancer and him having prostate cancer, and it went in one ear and out of the other. So you see here that my PSA had wind up going here. Take note. See, it was already over 3. I was already at normal when I first took my first PSA test. And if you look how it continually just increased all the way up until they got it to a max of 10. And there's another story I can't tell you about on that, why it went to 10. But the end result was that my PSA had been at normal for 17, 18 years. But they never found the cancer until another day. That's another story for another time. But anyway, there's my PSA. So, but I do want you to take note, it went from a 10 here in 2020. I had my procedure done when I was at PSA of 7, but as of February, my PSA is 0.3. Now, my doctor, when I had radiation treatment, knew that my PSA would be going down gradually, but mine dropped at an extraordinary rate. And why did that happen? It's because of the lifestyle changes that I'm going to share with you in this video. Next, I started looking at, I'm sharing a lot of information. This is my A1C. I want you to take a look. The normal range, let me stop. Okay, so the one thing I want to take note of in concerning the A1C, the normal range is 4.6 to 5.6%. And that's all that time. But note that my PSA has been over that amount, or very close to hovering at the top, which means if I don't make some changes, guess what? I am going to become type 2 diabetic. So that was what I saw back in March of last year, 2024, that my A1C was going the wrong direction. I knew I had to make some changes. Okay, I had to make changes. Next, so let's talk about cholesterol, because I've been hearing about these tests. I've been going to the doctor, and the doctors schedule these tests, but I never truly really understood about cholesterol and what I was looking at concerning the numbers, okay, and the results. So let's talk about it. So what is cholesterol? It's a waxy fat-like substance that's found in your cells, and your body needs the cholesterol to make hormones and also vitamin D and substances, vitamin D. Now, okay, so the cholesterol makes the vitamin D. Now, I was diagnosed as vitamin D deficient. So that's a problem because it helps, the vitamin D helps you digest the foods. So if I'm vitamin D deficient, guess what? I'm not digesting the foods the way properly. So the body makes all the cholesterol it needs, but some of it is found in animal sources like eggs or meat or cheese. But it says if you have too much cholesterol in the blood, that combines and makes plaque, which clogs up my arteries, which is going to lead to coronary artery disease. In other words, something is going to give me a damn heart attack and a stroke. And as I mentioned, my family history, my mom and my dad both had a stroke. So unless I clean up my arteries, I am going to be destined to do that. So next, HDL, LDL, and VLDL are what we call lipoproteins, but the LDL, the VLDL is also named as triglycerides. But let's look at each one. So the HDL stands for the good cholesterol because it helps my body get rid of cholesterol. It carries it to the liver and the liver removes it from the body. So the higher my HDL or the more good HDL I get, the better my body works and functions. LDL is the low density lipoprotein, and it's bad cholesterol because a high LDL level leads to the buildup of plaques. So if my LDL is high, guess what? I'm going to clog up my arteries, which means I'm going to get heart disease, give my ass a goddamn stroke. Okay, next, the triglycerides. This also is a bad cholesterol because it contributes to the buildup. So the VLD carries the triglycerides and the LDL carries the cholesterol. So this is what we're looking at here. Next, But the most common cause of high cholesterol is unhealthy lifestyle. Hello, unhealthy lifestyle. In other words, unhealthy eating habits, eating saturated fats. And see, now as I'm looking at this, my wife had been talking to me about eating certain things like potato chips and stuff. Anything that has saturated fats, guess what? That crap's gone right now. Physical activity, I don't have a problem. We do treadmill and we also do walking. And the reason for the physical activity, it helps. This lowers your HDL, okay? The good cholesterol, okay? Which is good, okay? Smoking lowers your HDL cholesterol. So in other words, lack of physical activity. So if you're not working out, it's going to lower your good cholesterol. If you smoke, it is going to lower your cholesterol. If you're around stressful situations, it's going to lower your cholesterol, okay? Or it may cause you to, for your body to make more cholesterol than what you need. And also drinking too much alcohol. So if you're drinking alcohol every single day, it's going to directly affect your cholesterol. So what did I say? For instance, my parents, they drank alcohol, they smoked, okay? I've never seen them exercise. Never seen them exercise. And when they're dealing with stress, must be, okay? You don't have enough money or whatever, but for the most part, they were living good. But all of these things are the reasons of things that became part of my lifestyle. I smoked. I was always in stressful situations, except when I was in the Marine Corps. My physical activity and stuff was down. My lifestyle sucked. So now let's look at some numbers here. So my triglycerides, which is the lower LDL, the very low LDL, if you notice here, the value needs to be less than 149. In January 2006, what I mentioned before, I don't remember my brother telling me, but when I had a conversation with him today, I firmly believe that he told me, he called me and said, hey, Dad had prostate cancer. He has prostate cancer. I wasn't listening because at the time I didn't have health insurance. And when he said I need to go get checked and get my PSA, I couldn't do it because I didn't have any insurance. But look what happened. My cholesterol at the time point when I first started here with Kaiser was well over 200, well out of whack. And it still stayed up there way over 200 for 9 years. Okay, 9 years. It was still up. What the heck, over? I did not receive any information. Okay, so there were times, the question is, why did it drop here during this time? Part of it, I started changing things. Some of it was taking some of the vitamins, but I was doing it inconsistent. So you see these ups and downs. It was because sometimes I would go ahead and take those vitamins for a while, but then I would stop. Okay, and that's what it is. But now look what's happening up in here. You see how here, that's because during this time point, especially up here, but notice here in March, I noticed that my thing was going up. I decided I better start taking these vitamins and keeping them. I better start doing the lifestyle changes that I need. My regular cholesterol, see, it needed to be under 199. Look what happened in January 2006. Remember, I didn't have any health insurance, so there was no way to go check. Look at the numbers. I'm supposed to be over 200. So I'm talking about from 2006 all the way up in here. This is probably 2018. Now, even up here, 2019, right before the pandemic. Look what my cholesterol had been. It had only been below 200 two times. So I'm seeing here that whatever reason I started taking cholesterol medicine that the doctor gave me, I think around 2018 when I noted that. You see it sort of drop, but look what happened. This is when I made a decision. I need a lifestyle change. My HDL, it started out, now this is my good one. It needs to be greater than 40. And for the most part, it has been greater than 40. But you see how whacked it's been all the way up into this time point. But what did I notice here? Going here in March, all the way down here, guess what? It started going down. I needed to make a lifestyle change. My LDL needed to be less than 99. Less than 99. But here, as in 2017, notice it was still up here extraordinary high. My LDL, this was my bad cholesterol. And it's just going off the chart. Now, it did drop down here once, probably below here, but it bounced up. But then again, I noticed, guess what? As of March 27th, it was going in. Guess what? I need a lifestyle change. Here's my overall cholesterol. The HDL protein needed to be below 3.9. It never had been, except for rare occasions. But even down here, again, I saw that here in March 27th, it was going. I was getting older. My age is a factor, but also it started going up. I need a lifestyle change. Finally, a healthy non-HDL cholesterol level is typically considered to be less than 130. Look how out of whack my cholesterol had been from 2014, 2016, 2019. It was below 130, I think, right here. Then I have started receiving, this is when I started receiving cholesterol medicine. The doctor, after 7 years, finally decided to put me on cholesterol medicine. Never once did he give me a talk about lifestyle changes. Again, so I'm taking the cholesterol and everything else, but then the medication, during this time point, that's when I first started. But look what's happened here March 27th. It started clicking up. Guess what? I need a lifestyle change. So what can raise my high cholesterol? Age, my sex, whether you're male or female, it changes. Family history. Do I have a family history? Heck yeah, I got a family history of it. But also medicines, chemotherapy, medicines. I didn't have that, but I did have radiation training. Race, because I'm African American. Yes. Overweight. I was overweight. I needed a lifestyle change. Okay. So the question is, how can I lower? I can lower it by healthy lifestyle changes, eating right, weight management, and regular physical activity. If the lifestyle changes alone does not do it, then I need medicine. Unfortunately, my doctor did the opposite. What he did, he saw it was all out of whack. He delayed it. Then my doctor decides to give me another medicine without even speaking to me about lifestyle changes. I have decided that I'm doing lifestyle changes. So here is my health concerns. And for my sons and for my grandkids and my grandsons, you need to take note, because guess what? All these things are on the road. They're on the railroad track, and you're on a damn train going straight for it. Prostate cancer, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, PTSD you may not get, but I've had PTSD because I was service connected, and also my sinusitis. This is what I had with my sinuses and everything else. Both of those are service connected with the first Gulf War. But prostate cancer, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol is going to clog up your damn veins, and you're going to have a heart attack or stroke. That's the road that you're on, unless you make a lifestyle change. So what are my lifestyle changes that I did that are affecting me right now? 1, stop smoking. I did that 7 years ago. Exercise. I do weight training 4 days a week. I do my elliptical or walking. I do 30 miles a week. My diet, I'm eating more vegetables, salad, more fish. 95% of the time we're eating chicken, but the red meat that I do eat is grass-fed. Maintain healthy weight. Right now I went from 197 to 174 pounds. I am lean and strong. I can bench press 220 pounds. But I also take high-performing supplements, and I drink about 72 ounces of liquid and water a day. Water, 72 ounces a day. Okay, so that's my lifestyle change. So when I got diagnosed with prostate cancer, they had me as a Gleason score of 3+3, which is 6, which is grade 1, stage 1 cancer. And they wanted to put me up on a watchful weight. I call it the Tuskegee experiment. So in that case, what they said, because they don't know how long my cancer has been there, that it's a good cancer. I'm saying, what the heck you talking about, a good damn cancer? Okay. But they wanted to wait and see. Wait and see means I'm going to take a PSA every 2 years or every 6 months. And then I'm going to do a biopsy every year. I decided I had enough of that damn rod up my ass and pissing blood for 4 to 6 weeks. I said, no, I'm not doing it. So anyway, he gave me this book. And with this book, it goes over, it has 588 pages. It's well researched by the doctor. It was on the New York Times bestseller list. It's about how to feel better, live longer, lose weight, and gain health. Plain and simple. That's what I want. That's the recipe. Okay. It has a lot of information. So what I'm going to do, you watching this video, I'm going to cut to the chase on the things that are important. Page 107, it says, love your gut bacteria. And the main thing it tells us that these health enhancing bacteria are called probiotics. In other words, you need probiotics in your life. You need to consume it, because the more probiotics you have, that bacteria is the good bacteria. It loves your guts. It helps to restore your normal balance of intestinal bacteria. Not all bacteria is bad. Next, on page 108, again, probiotics are found in foods, but dietary supplements, but not all dietary supplements are the same. Next, it has no serious side effects, but the bottom line, I need probiotics inside my diet. Next thing is vitamin E. Vitamin E I need to make sure I take so I don't get Alzheimer's or dementia. Okay, the more vitamin E is a preventive measure to make sure I don't get that. Next thing, don't eat sodium. In other words, all this time, every time I eat, I'm putting salt. Guess what? Can't do that no more. If I want, I can replace it with potassium. But if I eat potassium, that's going to help. So how do I reduce my blood pressure? I need to increase the potassium. I never understood that. My doctor had told me, asked me about potassium, connected like to bananas and everything as to whether or not I was taking it. He never told me that I needed the potassium in order to lower my blood pressure. If he had told me that, I would have been doing it. Okay, damn. Same thing again. So, sodium, we got to get rid of the salt. So I need to stop, cut out things that I love salt so well. But you know what? It's got to go. If I want to live right, it's got to go. If I do eat beef, it's got to be natural grass fed, because only the meat from the grain fed, okay, which is normally in your grocery stores that you're buying, that you think you're getting, if they being grain fed, it contains more total fat, more saturated fat, more cholesterol, and more damn calories, which we do not need. So the other thing is that we need to look at in nutrition was to develop a greater understanding of all the different things that influence what you eat affects your heart. We need to understand those. We need to understand about substances that raise our blood levels of both total cholesterol and the LDL. And the LDL is the bad cholesterol, and we don't want to have the high cholesterol. Okay, so one of the studies and everything else concerning with 12,000 men, it found that the intake of saturated fat and its effects on LDL was strongly linked. Okay, strongly linked. Now, mangoes are one of the best source of cancer-fighting things that we can take, because it has antioxidants, it has vitamin C and E. And so, but the main lesson is to understand we need fiber. I need 30 grams of fiber a day, but I also need soluble fiber. And that's what our vitamin supplements and stuff I use to make sure I get the soluble fiber. So unless I'm eating mangoes and everything else all the time, I'm not getting that soluble fiber. And that's what I need. Because why? Because it reduces the bad cholesterol in my body. Okay. So mangoes are a must. Okay. So the one other thing that the doctor, when he gave me the book, he said, go ahead and pick up this stuff. It's called Zyflamed. Okay. So I went to get it and I looked at it. It was $65 for 120 tablets, 60-day supply. But when I was comparing it with other nutrients and stuff I get, it didn't have everything. So I still needed something. One of the things I did, I got prostate cancer. So my prostate was there. And so as a result, I needed to get a supplement for my prostate as well, because I was also on Flomax. So I still needed something in order for me to have a good urinary flow. In other words, to piss like I was 6 years old. Okay. So I got that. But then what happened, I started looking at the fact that the more I researched and the more I read the book and more vitamin supplements and stuff that I needed to take in my body, it was becoming too complicated, because not everything was contained in every bottle as I started reading. Because one thing most people don't do is that we don't read the bottles to see all the ingredients. So this time I became serious, like a doctor. I am a doctor of education. I started researching and paying more attention to details. I noticed that my wife, anytime she would go and put something to think about putting in her mouth, she turns around and she wants to know what it is. I became more like her in that respect. So I needed to find out. So too complicated. It wasn't getting the results that I really wanted. And so I started reading up about the Melaleuca supplements. See, I trusted this company because I'd been a customer of them ever since 1991. I'd been taking their Vitality Pack and their vitamins, but not on a consistent basis. And as you can see on the charts that I did concerning the ups and downs of my cholesterol and everything else, it's kind of indicative of me not taking vitamins and supplements that I needed to take on a consistent basis. So I wanted to use something that was research based. So when I started reading up on the Melaleuca vitamins, I found out they had not one, not two, not three, but 4 research studies. And the last recent one, it was concerning heart. And that's one thing for me to be concerned with. They had one about the Freeburg. They had a Sterling, totally independent, not controlled by the company. And the last one they did was a deprivation, and that was really the clincher. See, the deprivation says, so the other reports already said that if you take it, you get vast improvements on your cholesterol and your heart, your heartbeat, and your blood pressure. But the deprivation says if you stop taking the vitamins and stuff and stop, what happens? Everything went back higher or worse than it was before. Okay, that was a showstopper. It says, guess what? I've got to take these vitamins. So this is what I found. I trusted the products because I've been a customer for over 30 years. I discovered that they had a patent, a legal process that actually makes sure that the stuff gets to where I'm going to show that a little bit more. I discovered that they have a peak performance package. So I began to read, to learn, and earn to discover about the supplements. I order once a month. It's like Costco and Amazon. I pay $19 to be a member. I can get up to a 50% discount, and I can get $100 in free products. Okay. So let's talk about the products, the specific products that I use that is helping me in my health. Right now, I went from 197 pounds to 174 pounds. My PSA has gone from 7 down to 0.3. Okay. My resting heart rate has gone from 78 to 55. Okay. My blood pressure, before I could take my blood pressure medicine, I anticipate that I'll be off of those. My blood pressure is 128/68. My lifestyle change has done it. Now let's talk about the supplements that I take. These are the ones that I've been taking. So I take this Peak Performance pack. And the Peak Performance is my vitamins. I take a little pack in the morning and take a little pack in the evening. It makes it easy. It has Nutritherm, is a fat burning supplement in there. I take the protein shake that has, it is so damn good. It is so damn good. Okay. The GC control helps, just helps with my blood sugar. So this thing is giving me all the vitamin and nutrients that I need. Okay. To make sure I have good health, and all the other natural things for my muscular system and my metabolism. So, it's not cheap. Okay. But I'm going to show you how you can get $20 of this off every month for the next 5 months. And I'm going to show you how you can actually get a lot more off. Okay. So, but it's like Costco. You have to be a member in order to do it. So you pay the $19. If you're a regular member, it's going to cost $153. Okay. How much does it cost? How much are you willing to pay in order to live healthy in life? Okay. If it works, I'll pay the money for it. Okay. And in this case, you're going to get 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you try the products and it don't work for you, you can return the empty packages and stuff and you get a full refund. 100% guarantee. No problem. But notice, if you're a non-member, it costs $275. So I would pay the $19 to become a member because you're going to be able to get the 50% discount. Next thing. So the main thing difference is that I also still needed to take prostate medicine. And I had this stuff I was taking, and I started looking at the ingredients, and then I typed in prostate at the Melaleuca website, the wellness store, and guess what? They had their own. And then I looked. I compared what this was in here. But the only big difference, the Melaleuca has that process called illegal, which means I'm going to share a little bit more about you that allows it to get to where it was much more effective. This right here did not affect and actually bring down my PSA. What brought my PSA down dramatically in the 13-month time point is because I stopped taking this and I started taking the Melaleuca one instead. So I take this and it cost me $20 for a month's supply. This right here has helped me have my prostate. I have radiation treatment, but the rapid part of how my PSA dropped is because I'm taking this. So I also take Good Zymes. It helps with me with my digestive system. I'm not the ups and downs of having diarrhea 2 or 3 times a week. All that stuff is gone. Okay. This is what I take for digestive system. It just smooths me out. Okay. It smooths me out. I take the best craps in the world now. coming back from the Gulf, but also based on my job and everything else, experience either in the Marine Corps and also as a high school teacher. Stress. Anybody have stress in their life? Remember, stress is one of the things I need to get rid of. So how do you get rid of stress? You need to mellow out. Okay, so they have two things. One is a mellow out that I use it as a tea, but they also have this Luminex, and I take one of those, one in the morning and one in the evening with my regular vitamins, and it chills me the fuck out. I don't care about the stress. I can handle it. It may be difficult, but guess what? It works. So I get rid of stress. I have to, because life is full of these ups and downs. So what else can I do for you? And this is what I'm offering. One is that understand that these wellness products, they're not approved by the FDA, okay? Just like any other vitamin supplements and everything else. I am a marketing executive with Melaleuca. I don't represent the company in any official thing, okay? Everything else you need to go to the website as far as that information. But all I tell you is that these products I take because they work for me. Question is, do they work for you? You're going to have to try them, okay? You're going to have to try them. I have a Facebook group that I have here. I'm going to click in that Facebook group, and I want you to join that. And there's no obligation, no cost and everything else. But on that page and everything else, you will learn more things and stories about other things in order to keep you healthy and well. Okay, so that's what that is about, is my Facebook group. Next thing I want you to do is that understand this. I am not a recruiter. I run a wellness business, and I find customers and enroll customers so that they can go ahead and shop at my online store at Melaleuca. So I am a product advocate. I will keep you informed about the products and provide you excellent customer service. I'm not recruiting you into network marketing, and I'm not going to hunt you down, and I don't want you to hunt down on sale or do any sales pitches to any of your friends or your family. No. Because see, what I'm talking about is my lifestyle changes concerning my age and high blood pressure and cholesterol and everything else. And that doesn't apply to everybody, but it does apply to the ones which are my customers. I welcome referrals, and I will enroll them as customers and provide them the same excellent customer service that I'm going to provide you. And all of my customers must watch an overview presentation before enrolling as a member of the Melaleuca Online Wellness Store. So what about the company? How are they? They've been around for 40 years. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. And this year, in 2025, they were named as one of the America's most trusted brands as recognized by USA Today. Also, their illegal process that they have, that solution is patent. So Melaleuca owns the patent. And what does that do? Firstly, it takes your mineral and goes to the proteins, and it bounds the minerals with the proteins so that the minerals can be delivered. In other words, not all vitamins are the same. With Melaleuca vitamins, what it says on the nutrients that's there, they will get to your body, into your bloodstream the way it's supposed to do. It's 10 times more available for absorption and better antioxidant protection. That's what you get with the Melaleuca products, besides a 100% money back guarantee. Okay, so to join Melaleuca, this is how it works. I'm going to make it easy. So first of all, contact me by phone. There's my phone number. 951-306-5165. Send a text message and ask me to send you the enrollment form. Next, I will send you a required company overview link and the enrollment form. We'll set an appointment so I can walk you through how to order. We'll get on the Zoom so I can actually go to the website and show you how to order and place your first order. Then I'm also going to show you how to earn the $100 during the first 90 days. And I'm going to show you how you can eventually get your products and stuff for almost free. So call me on my cell number, send me a text message. That's the best way. Option number one. Option number two, you can go to my website. You can go to this website here, is where it says Shop Wellness, join Jordan and millions of families switching to safer, affordable, eco-friendly products. You can go ahead there. You go ahead and click that, hit the button. You'll type in your information. It will send me a text message. Okay, so that's option number two. Option number three, you can actually go to the Melaleuca website, click on this link. If you go to that website, then you're going to get to Melaleuca. This is the actual Melaleuca website. And I want to show you a couple things. See, it says to learn how you become a member, you have to contact Jordan, which means you have to click this little box. Then what it's going to do, it sends me a message. So you go ahead and put my name and everything else, put your phone number, then it will send me a message with your contact information. That's the option number one. Again, you'll get a chance to look at all the things that they have. I've just shared you just a few of the products. Again, this is not about new money. Okay? So it's not about new money. So don't fret over the amount that you're paying for your supplements, because you will make that up in other areas. Like, for instance, I don't go down to my local store and buy toothpaste anymore. I don't buy Crest toothpaste. I don't care what it is, as long as the toothpaste that work. But I don't buy it anymore. Why? Because see, when I buy it, they don't give me a discount. And two, when I buy it, they don't give me any loyalty dollars. What are loyalty dollars? Okay, wait a minute. Check out here. I'm at the website. This is my loyalty. See, thank you for being a loyal Melaleuca customer. I've been buying products from them since 1991. Yeah, I'm a loyal damn customer here. Okay, but look, it says available. Right now, I have $437.20 available to buy products. What can I buy with that? Anything I want. Next, activate. It says they're videos. So they have videos that teaches you about the products. When you watch the video, you earn. And right now it's telling me I can go and earn $182.65 more products. Over my lifetime, I have earned and used $2,000. Melaleuca is giving me loyalty products. So why would I go down the corner to pay for toothpaste when I know if I buy it from Melaleuca, it's going to be high quality, it's going to be delivered to my door. But more importantly, what's going to happen is that I'm going to get some loyalty dollars that allows me to pay for my expensive vitamin supplements. So when I need to wash dishes, I don't buy Dawn anymore. I don't buy the stuff down there. I buy the stuff, my clothes, my clothes I do. Okay, how about I getting the headache? Again, if you look at here, you have supplements, you have cleaning, you have health, foods and drinks, you get medicines, all that. Why do you think they're going to give you $100 in free products in 5 months? Because they know if you try the products, you're going to continue to buy the products. That's why they do that. So this is the Melaleuca website. You see here, I'm a product advocate 3, which means I help customers. That's my job, customers. I'm only asking you that if what I just said makes sense about lifestyle and everything else, and you need to make a change because you're not getting the results. If you want to have the same results that I have done, I suggest that you try the vitamins. Become the customer, okay? And I will provide you the high quality service that you deserve, okay? Plain and simple. That's it right there. So with that, I'd like to thank you, okay? I did this. I have to put a shout out to Jeff, a fellow attendee of CBC High School in St. Louis, Missouri, okay? It was because of you in our conversation last night that you motivated me to do this video. I hope if you saw something in here that can help you, fine. If you would like to get some of the same results and try the vitamins, fine. Otherwise, I invite you, if you're a parent or you're a mom or you're a dad, let's go ahead and share your family medical history with your kids, because they need to know and they should hear it from you. Okay, so I've already shared this, and the first people I'm sharing this with are my sons. And I hope they go ahead and take this, since I'm making it a video. Long after I'm gone, this video is still going to be up on YouTube. So this is Dr. Smith. Thank you for watching my video, and I probably have a little nice surprise for you just for doing so. Have a great day.
Congratulations! You have been rewarded with a $100 restaurant cash certificate. This certificate entitles you to $25 off every month for the next 4 months at thousands of participating restaurants nationwide. In addition, you will also have access to an unlimited amount of the latest and greatest fast food and restaurant coupons that you can use to receive free items, BOGO deals, and discounts at your favorite food spots anytime you want. How can we do this? We drive a ton of new diners to thousands of restaurants nationwide to fill their empty tables. The majority of customers that we send to these restaurants spend around $66 with a $25 cash certificate. You will receive a $25 restaurant cash certificate every month for the next 4 months. Choose from thousands of participating restaurants in virtually every city in every state of the USA. So redeem your certificate before it expires. Eat up to 50% off of your bill and thank the business who gave you this special offer by doing business with them again and referring your friends and family members. Katrina from Grassonville, Maryland said, "The process to redeem was super easy. Find a certificate for the restaurant and redeem. It really was that simple. So what are you waiting for? Activate your offer today."